necessarily a gun review per se. I mean, I've never done the gun, this particular rifle on my channel, but I recently got a new stock for it, so we're going to talk about that. I'm trying to film it in a different way I haven't done before, so anyways, yeah. This is my 243. It's a Remington 700. It's actually a youth model that I had for a long time. I killed my first deer with it when I was 10 years old. It's had the same scope. It's a Very X2 loophole 3x9 by 40, and it's got the stock barrel still. But I recently got this new stock, and this is what it came with. This has been painted since then. I did this camouflage job myself, but this used to be black, and this weighs nothing, and it doesn't have aluminum in it at all. It's just totally synthetic plastic, and you can imagine how little it is. I'm not a little guy, but you can imagine how little it is compared to what this is. This is the Choate Ultimate Sniper stock, and it's got the monopod there for the back, and it's got a huge big grip. I love it for my hands, and it weighs about, I think it's like seven something pounds, so it really gives the I'm turning this rifle into, you know, just a bench queen pretty much. But like I said, it's still got the stock barrel. It's not had anything done to it other than put the scope on. But I have, over the years, tuned a load for it, and it's pretty accurate, at least out to a few hundred yards. I've never pushed it any further than that. I'll show you a group. So here's a picture of a group that I shot at 100 yards. Yeah, I know it's only 100 yards, but this was my first shot. This was a Fowler shot. And then there's 4 shots right here. This is a 5-shot group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5th one being the first one right here that I pointed to last. And that load is, you know, I mean, I'm not afraid to talk about my loads that I've been worked on, you know. But it's actually Sierra Game Kings, 100 grain Sierra Game King with 44.5 grains of IMR 4350. And here's a look at some of them, just in case you want to see. There's a look. Sierras. I do everything here on my bench, which I know my bench is absolutely filthy. I haven't done any loading for a while. And basically I plan on getting a Douglas barrel for it, like a heavy contour something or other, you know, preferably at least 24 inches. I'm pretty sure this is a 20-inch barrel. But like I said, still out at a, you know, a few hundred yards or less, it's really consistent. That group, after I measured that group, or no, I did not count my Fowler shot. It's a 4-shot group I measured, and it was, after I subtracted 0.243 for the diameter of the bullet, it was less than a ½ inch. So I was pretty proud about that, with, you know, coming. And that was before I just got this today. That was before I changed it. So that's out of a little cheap, completely plastic rifle stock here. All it has is basically a pretty good scope and some really tuned loads that have proven themselves time and time again as far as accuracy and lethality. They're extremely lethal. Out to a certain range, out to as far as I've pushed it. My dad uses a 300 H&H Magnum, and we load for it, and it's devastating too. But honestly, you can't tell the difference between the loads that I make out of this 243, cranking probably 3,050, 3,100 feet a second ish with a 100 grain Sierra Game King, and it's like a little grenade hitting them. It's an incredible amount of damage coming out of a 6mm. It's a lot more than you would expect, and I know a lot of people's experience with factory loads. They shoot a deer with a factory load, you know, in a 243, and they run around the hill. They might run a few thousand yards. They might blah 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 this, you know, you've heard all kind of different stories, but I can honestly say with my loads, I've never had anything go farther than 3 feet straight down, and that's honest to God. I've never had anything run off at least no more than a few steps. You could see them go down immediately, and that's also due to, you know, good shot placement, but the lethality of the load is just, it's ridiculous. So once again, I will be making some more videos as progress comes along on this, just to give you an idea of what it looks like when I throw it up, you know, on the bipod here. Just to give you an idea. Like I said, it's got some pretty good weight to it now. It's a lot more stable, especially on a bench. And the fact that it's got this adjustable monopod here on the back, you can unscrew it, and plus these cheek pads unscrew, and it's got a different, let me show you here, it's got a, that's the small one, which I like. This one is for probably people with a little bit smaller of a face or whatever, or with a really high ring and base combo on their scope, you know, with their scope really high off the top of the action. But this one's probably another ½ inch or so taller than the cheek pad that's on it now, which, I mean, you could see, maybe you could see how much taller it is. So, thanks for watching the video. Comment, subscribe. I'll answer any questions if you guys have any questions for me, or even on some of the other videos. I don't care. So have a nice day, y'all.